Hello, everybody. Wednesday night. Thank you very much for joining in for the Ravori Sports Podcast. Like and subscribe to all of our social media content. So thank all of you for joining us here tonight. It's Wednesday. All right. I'm gonna try and put the hat back on, but it's a little stuffy in here. Usually I just suffer through it, but it's hot, so I'm gonna do my best here for you guys out here. Thank you very much for joining us here as well. Orioles well in hand tonight, so we might as well go ahead and get started as well. We got a good heater going for the Orioles here, like 4 in a row. So all right, so good stuff here at the coming out of the yard as well. So let's go ahead and get it going. Genesis Notary Services /Facebook.com. For those of you who are in the Winchester area, we're getting busier and busier with the notary services. So thank you. We're going to be doing some advertising. I'm going to be doing some things here with the local baseball team in the Winchester area as well. They're going to be advertising for helping with some advertising as well. So I want to advertising with them rather. So I want to thank them for that in advance, Winchester Royals. So with that, so that's out there as well. So we appreciate all of you in the Winchester area that have called us today. Appointment today was out in the rain. So it was appreciate all of you doing that. RavensSports.company.site as well. That's our flagship. You can get Ravens jerseys like this. Today I got a little vintage Joe Flacco on. This is what? I'm gonna get to the joke. Once I finish advertising. So we're gonna get to RavensSports.company.site. You can get vintage jerseys like this here as well. And so definitely check it out. RavensSports.company.site as well. We are Legal Shield as well. We're gonna have a Legal Shield live stream next month. So definitely tap it out on the 4th of July, that 12 o'clock in the afternoon. We're going to go ahead and for those of you out there that are looking for Legal Shield, more than happy to talk about it here. All of you on the channel, this is the first time we're going to do it here for the Ravori Sports audience. I talk about it here as well. But it's going to be on our Legal Shield LinkedIn page as well. Hopefully, I don't think it'll be on the Facebook page. I think you need I don't think I have enough people following quite yet on the Facebook page to get there. Definitely too, Genesis Notary Services also too is going to have a live stream here. That's going to be Monday coming on the 1st. So right around 12 o'clock. So we're going to have that as well. So definitely check that out as well. And Orioles and Royals and also MLB Draft Reaction. That's going to be on July 11th. That's going to be coming up here July 10th. I got to put the tape there. July 10th. So it's going to be the Saturday before the All-Star break. We're going to have that. So we're going to talk draft. So the draft kind of changed the days a little bit and changed up a little bit. So we're going to change up with it. And we're going to talk Royals and Orioles. Royals really struggling so far this year. So definitely check that out. And we have a joke. What's the joke, hon? What's the joke? Go ahead.
So, I know y'all would like to know my jokes because I'm just the funniest person in the world. Why did the kitten get arrested? Because it littered.
Go ahead, put a 1 in the chat if you understood the joke there. So we appreciate you out there. All right, so thank you very much. So we got the joke of the day in, the youngest one here. Also to thank Mrs. Ravori tonight, 20 years of marriage, and I'm here working. We already celebrated kind of already, but this is the official day. So we appreciate all of you out there as well.
These are the only shoes I had.
All right, let's get to business. All right, so we've been talking about this off season here. We're going to get to OTAs as well. Lamar was there today, spoke to the media. But we're talking about the greatest things as far as free agency. So next week, we're going to cap the NFL 20 years, 20 best free agents of NFL all time. This year, last week, we talked about the greatest veteran free agent signings. This week, we're talking about
let me show you how
the best undrafted free agents in Ravens history. They have a very long list and a very good list of undrafted free agent players as well. Now, before this starts, I'm going to say this right now. So these are undrafted players with the Ravens that started with the Ravens. So it doesn't count like if you played with a different team and then you came over and you were undrafted or like, no. So this is a guy who actually made the 53-man roster or whatever the rosters were back in 96, whatever it is, on up, rather. They made the roster being undrafted, beating out all the draft picks, beating out veterans at that position, making it on special teams or on the main roster, on defense, offense, whatever it is. They went ahead and made it from there, and they contributed as Ravens players. So guys like, who made the 53 and never played here or anything like that. No. So these are the best of the guys who actually started here in training camp as rookies and moved and contributed as Ravens as undrafted free agents. Now, there are some, obviously, that moved on to other teams and all that, etc. After the fact. But we're focusing on the ones that started as Ravens. All right. It is a good list, by the way. I mean, there's some players here that were really good.
Yeah.
Name you might not be so familiar with. It was a good while ago. B.J. Sams. There was a lot of talk about B.J. Sams when he came play for the Ravens. A punt returner, kick returner. Well, so I think he was a running back. Really didn't play much backfield as well, but really a good special teams player back then. Look, Takeo Spikes a long time ago, I heard him say during the draft, look, if you're a player and you want to play in the NFL, he said, unless you're a first-round pick, early first-round pick, second-round pick, you want to go up to the special teams coach and report for duty. B.J. Sams was a pretty good kick returner for a while. They're not great kick returner, hence why he's here 20, but definitely a guy, great speed, I remember. Great speed, great special teams player, contributor. B.J. Sams, number 20. Morgan Cox, part of the Wolf Pack, here for a long time. Just not even that long he's been gone. I think he's still playing in the league, from what I understand, with Tennessee as well. So a long snapper with the Ravens as well. This is another position where if you're undrafted, that's you see that. Usually teams, this is probably the least drafted position on the field as well. Like the undrafted,
I'll call you tomorrow, okay?
The long snapper. Usually teams do not draft the long snapper. They might draft the long snapper in some case. I've never seen it. But teams, like a lot of times, they won't draft the long snapper. They'll go ahead and wait till post-draft. You can usually find a guy, Morgan Cox. Morgan Cox was an integral part for a long time. So him, the GOAT, Justin Tucker, Sam, and Sam Cook were together a long time, where they were a trio for many, many years. A lot of success. So you talk about John Harbaugh and all the special team success he had. Morgan Cox was a guy who was there. He was recent.
Hello?
Keaton Mitchell, number 18. Keaton Mitchell, I think, a little surprised he didn't play more in 2025, considering that. But great speed. Son of another guy who played with the Ravens, Anthony Mitchell, Anthony Mitchell kind of took the same path as like an undrafted free agent and played with the Ravens, now playing with the Chargers, but didn't play a whole lot. Saw some flashes though, but Mitchell, I think, is an outstanding player as well. It's going to be good with the Chargers. I think for whatever reason did have an injury, little smallish, which is why he didn't get drafted. A little small for the position, and I think that's possibly why the Ravens moved away from him. But he's got phenomenal speed, breakaway speed, no question about how fast this guy is as well. Keaton Mitchell, number 18. Peanut Patrick Owasa, good for a couple years for sure with the Ravens, definitely too. Like, here's a guy. You see a couple of these inside linebackers on this list, by the way. But here's a guy who definitely worked his way into a starting position. So a guy that was undrafted, totally came out of nowhere, kind of worked his way up on special teams, worked his way up, played next to Ray Lewis, and then worked his way into being a position player as far as going next to no, I don't think he played. I'm sorry. He didn't play with Ray Lewis. He played with I think it was Mosley. I'm sorry, what's the other guy? So, but definitely played with the Ravens for several years and became a starter with them. That's saying a lot. I mean, for a guy who had to work his way up through special teams, again, kind of seen as small, which is why he didn't get drafted, but definitely to a guy who worked way. Not a complete linebacker. I think it was good in the run, not as good against the pass, but good story here. Peter Lawasu, number 19. Here's a guy who was with us twice, Chris Board, as well. Chris Boyd was a little closer to it as far as that, though. I think he didn't get as much of a chance to start. I don't know if he's a great starter, but definitely a great rotational player. Definitely made his bones for years now, still in the league on special teams in 2018. Definitely played with the Ravens for a couple of years. I think he's a solid contributor. I definitely think he's a guy that if he'd have stayed here, I think you'd hear more about him. But Board, I think, is an outstanding defensive, especially special teams player. Carved out a good career for himself. It's so hard to make a team as an undrafted guy. Here's a guy, Chris Board, who's made a whole career for himself. Definitely got some starting experience. Good pro wrestling term, good hand. Good guy to have in your locker room as well. Chris Board, number 18. Albert McClanahan as well. So didn't start as long, but again, a lot of these guys like this. Inside linebackers, worked his way into the starting lineup. Didn't always start, but definitely a guy who worked his way in. Again, now this guy definitely did play next to Ray Lewis towards the tail end. It was a good little group of inside linebackers, free agents. So I think is pretty good, pretty talented guy for his time. Had a good run, couple years as well. Again, I think probably with him, there was so many guys around this time inside linebacker that had success with. I think that's why he didn't play more. One didn't have great speed. Again, good near the line of scrimmage, good instincts as well. That's why he's on the list. Number 15, played for a couple of years. Here's a guy, current Raven, Tyler Huntley, 2020. I think probably he's the best backup quarterback in the history of the Baltimore Ravens at this point. I think that's not hyperbole to say. Came in. I think the only reason I think they took any look at him was because he was similar to, and I think it's the reason he's on the team right now. He was similar to, in some ways, like Lamar Jackson. Now, he doesn't have Lamar Jackson's passing ability down the field and all that, but certainly in last year, I saw a great improvement with Tyler Huntley throwing the football. So definitely that's true with Tyler Huntley when you talk about a guy as well. And even before that, though, he can do some of the things what Lamar just did. So last year you saw it. They tried Cooper Rush and they had to change everything around like this. You put Tyler Huntley in. If Lamar Jackson goes down, you don't have to change anything. You can run that same offense, same type of play, same play style as well as you are with your starting quarterback. So as well. And I think he may go down as the best backup we've ever had in history of the Ravens. So shout out to Tyler Huntley, a guy, 2020 it was. Darius Washington, a guy who's now in New York recently. Had it not been for the injury, he was really trending towards getting a long-term deal with the Ravens, I think, as well. So really was a guy, really kind of took the starting job away from Marcus Williams. Big money free agent acquisition as well. They went ahead and got Malachi Starks in the draft as well. And then there was an injury for him, and he really didn't play last year much. So I think he's on another team. But I think Darius is a guy. This is exactly what you want from an undrafted free agent, a guy who works his way, played hard, made the most maximum effort, maximum results. That's what this guy is here, Darius Washington. Good hitter for a guy, kind of a lost art as well. So Darius is a good hitter for his size. One of my favorites, Will Demps, 2002 as well. So we just talked about Anthony Mitchell. Was a guy 2002 after the big roster purge at the safety spot as well. So they drafted Ed Reed. So obviously he went ahead and started, and they were supposed to start Anthony Mitchell. He told him to go ahead and kind of look after this guy, Will Demps, who kind of had their eye on as undrafted free agent, and Will Demps became the starter. He took it right from him. Great speed and instincts for Will Demps. I mean, I was very, very impressed with him. Now, he was playing next to Ed Reed, which helps, obviously. But Demps, I think, was really a guy who very surprised with the tools that he has, that he was overlooked. Kind of played at a small school. So I think that was probably the only thing, the kind of the main school that Will Demps. That's going to bother me now. What school did Will Demps? Played at San Diego State. Yeah, I think that's why they kind of overlooked him as well. But I think Demps was really good for the first couple years here with the Ravens as well. Number 11, Pat McCary, the Swiss Army knife of the offensive line. Put him at any position. So definitely too, he's a guy you can put him at left tackle, you put him at right guard, you put him at center. That's exactly how they used him. That's probably his best role now that he's starting. He wound up starting his last year with the Ravens, signed free agency with Jacksonville. I don't think he's a great starter, but again, I think that 6-man role was just perfect for him. Probably the best configuration of that I've ever seen, probably with the Ravens. A guy, Pat McCary, a guy who you could just put him at so many different positions as well. Definitely versatility is big in the NFL. Sometimes you always have a place a lot of times if you can play different spots, different places on the line. And definitely McCary is a guy who can play different spots. Number 10. That was number 11. This is number 10, Darnell Ellerbe. So we're talking about a lot of these good inside linebackers that the Ravens have had. I think this was probably one of the better ones, Darnell Ellerbe as well. This guy was a little more complete as well. Plays the pass probably better, I think, than the other guys on this list as well. So I think that was the thing why he had a little bit more success in the league overall. Good at the line of scrimmage, like a lot of these guys, but I think he had a little bit more special pass. Not tremendous speed, but great instincts, great passion for the game. I always like, he was a guy too, you notice him while he's playing. Like, kind of had that Dennis Rodman quality. Like you see him, you pass, you look at him on the field, he is like that. He had a lot of that. Darnell Ellerbe, you see it there, even hold the football screaming like as well. So Darnell Ellerbe, I really was a big fan of Darnell Ellerbe. As a Raven. I loved him. Number 10 as well. Number 9, former Ravens defensive coordinator Zach Orr. Orr, I think, was really on his way had it not been for the injury where he had to retire early as well. But Orr, again, the guy, great speed. Little smallish, and I think this is why he was undrafted as well. But Orr really was eye-opening, like right away. As far as what he could do on the field. Again, probably had it not been for the injury, he really could have been, I don't know about a Hall of Fame player, but certainly I think in these two guys, I think this guy could have been more in line for an extension, but again, had to retire early because of the neck injury as well. Former Ravens defensive coordinator as well, to coordinate with a different team this year. As well. Jameel McClain, I think solid as well. It's very, very solid as well. Definitely a guy here. So many of these guys, and I think McClain was a guy, again, who did actually play next to Reed. Who was definitely Super Bowl champion, contributed to that as well. Kind of a lot of these guys are like right around the same time, too. McClain, Ellerbe. I think this was one of the better ones as well. This is a guy, I think probably, again, not for the fact that they had all these other guys, could have had an extension, could have had a longer career with the Ravens, but definitely to contribute to a world championship for the Ravens as well. So definitely a guy worked his way minute one. A lot of competition at the inside linebacker. The bus, Gus Edwards. I really looked this up. I could have swore this guy was drafted. But Gus was undrafted. Definitely to look, nothing fancy with Gus Edwards. That's why you liked him. Everything was north-south, straight ahead, power running game, period. One cut. Even though this was a Raven, like the former, I think I'm like Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan would love this guy. Nothing fancy. Just hit the A gap, hit the B gap, boom. That's what he did. Ran over people. Had a couple 1,000-yard seasons. I mean, you can kind of consider him a backup, but I definitely can't see why he wasn't more. I think I think he's kind of like a guy. It's kind of like Takeo Spike said, when you're first round, second round guy, you got to prove you can't play. If you're an undrafted guy, you got to prove you can play. So I think like I'm not so convinced that like if they had to not put this arm around this guy, gave him an extension, that this guy still wouldn't pay off. I think Gus Edwards. I really like Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards is great. Not a lot of fancy stuff. Probably like this. That's probably the one thing you wouldn't like is catching the ball out of it and all that other stuff. Not a lot, but Gus Edwards I think was very solid here as well. Michael Pierce had a couple tours with the Ravens, made the team in 2016. This guy's a $10 cab ride around him, or I'm sorry, Uber nowadays as well. Pierce was just a mountain, period. Big guy, big, strong guy, had problems with his weight. So I do understand why there was a little reluctance with him. But definitely, too, here's a guy, too, also later in his career kind of worked his way back into good playing shape, kind of worked his way in that. John Madden said about players, undrafted, or they come from nowhere. You see it even on this list. A big guy and a fast guy, right? This is the big guy. Pierce retired just a few years ago, came back, played for the Ravens. I also think he played his best football with the Ravens as well, even though he left for a little while. Priest Holmes, again, you talk about a guy named Gus Edwards, where if the Ravens had to put their arm around him as well. So interesting with Priest. Priest was an undrafted guy, kind of the beginning of the franchise here. They didn't have a lot of money for free agents, and Priest really cranked out a 1,000-yard season for him where they really didn't expect it. I think also in spite of that, I think the reason why they drafted Jamal Lewis, and Jamal obviously came in one of the all-time great Ravens as well. So they kind of got rid of Priest, and then obviously Kansas City knew how good he was, as he had a great career in Kansas City as well. So Priest definitely too almost underutilized. So he had the 1,000-yard season. They drafted Jamal Lewis. He kind of hit the bench after that, so it kind of made him expendable. But the Chiefs actually picked him up, signed him as their starter when he was the Ravens' backup. And Priest Holmes, I think, had a great career with the Chiefs. Certainly had good stuff with the Ravens as well. So I definitely think this is one of the best undrafted players in NFL history. Project Pat Ricard recently signed with the New York Giants. Could be the last Ravens fullback. Pat Ricard's very interesting. He's listed as a fullback here because we got to know him as a fullback, but he started as a defensive line, pure. I think he was actually too in the D-line rotation, so he wasn't even a guy who wasn't playing. But John Harbaugh thought, looking at fullback, had the idea this guy would be great at fullback. This is why he's so big, 300 pounds, like playing fullback. I think Pat Ricard, definitely too, he's the greatest fullback, I think, in the Ravens history. Could be the last one, considering what Declan Doyle is doing. So I think Ricard, I think Ricard is fantastic as well. I think the success that the Ravens had with their running backs is great. I think definitely Cam Scatterbo is going to like having Pat Ricard there in New York. Number 3, Bart Scott. I think Bart Scott, little known fact, and I don't know if I've mentioned this before. Red Scott and Ray Lewis were free agents when Bart Scott went to the Jets. The Ravens were seriously considering giving that Ray Lewis contract to Bart Scott. Bart Scott had the Jets up the deal to a 6-year deal, where the Ravens just weren't willing to do that as well. But they were seriously considering going with Bart Scott instead of Ray Lewis that year. That's always what I think about with Bart Scott. Bart Scott, I think, I'm shocked that this guy was undrafted. This guy was a complete inside linebacker. I can't see any weaknesses. Definitely guy good against the run, good against the pass, excellent physicality. Even on this list with all these good inside linebackers, undrafted, that the Ravens have had, this is the best one. I didn't even get a guy like I forgot the guy they just drafted, but there are guys on this list that are there inside linebacker with all this list. Bart Scott was fantastic as well. I think had the Jets not spent so much money, it really would be interesting to see what happened there with Bart Scott. Bart Scott, I think, is fantastic. Number 3, number 2, Mike Flynn. Mike Flynn, I think, in terms of tenure of a guy, he's probably the longest one. Bart Scott, I think, shorter tenure. Mike Flynn, I think, played about 10 years. And again, we talked about the beginning of the franchise. Armadale didn't have any money for free agents. Like, he needed some of these undrafted guys to be good. And Mike Flynn stayed here at about 10 years. I think he was the guy that became the guy. Probably you could still argue right now. It's arguable, but he's the best center still in the history of the Ravens. Mike Flynn, I think, had an outstanding career with the Ravens. So 10 years, I don't think there's any question about whether longevity too matters in this list. At number 1, the GOATs, Justin Tucker. I think this might be, and I think it'll be interesting to see, considering how it ended. This might be the greatest kicker in the NFL history. Certainly a Hall of Famer if he doesn't go back in the league this year. We'll see if another team picks him up. But Tucker, I think was the greatest kicker in NFL history, greatest kicker in team history here as well. Interesting to see what happens with Tucker. I think despite of whatever he's done, Tucker was phenomenal on the field. There you go. All right. So there you go. Top 10 undrafted free agent Ravens of all time. As well, that's going to be posted on social media tomorrow morning. So definitely go ahead, feel free and argue with me and all of us here at Ravori Sports with that as well. OTAs are going on right now. Shout out to you content creators that are doing videos on OTAs as well, because I don't have a whole lot on OTAs. I don't think a lot happens at OTAs. Nate Wiggins today was interesting. Mar Jackson was there. Nate Wiggins did get an interception, so that was noteworthy as well. Mar was there, did speak on the mic today about Jesse Minter. Look, he knows Jesse Minter. Okay, so Jesse Minter was coaching on the defense for the Ravens for John Harbaugh, former Harbaugh assistant. When Lamar was a rookie, Lamar was on the scout team. At the time, he was the third quarterback. This is when Joe Flacco was still here. A little bit at the beginning of the season, obviously, when Lamar wasn't starting. And so he knows Lamar a little bit. They seem to be already on the same page as well. So that's very, very good that they're getting that as well. Elijah Scott definitely climbing on the depth chart here as well. So he's definitely looked good here early in depth chart. The third receiver is going to be interesting. We're going to go over that as well. Who gets the third receiver spot? I think that is wide open right now. The Lane, Scott, and also to Tez Walker. I don't think there's any preference. I think that thing is wide open as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes here as well. Danny Pinter is going ahead and still right now it looks like he's running with the first team at center. So that's a thing as well. So that's interesting there. But everybody's present and accounted for. There wasn't any major injuries so far today. They're going to have organized team activities here next few weeks. I think there's one next week as well. So just doing some things here, getting ready for the 2025 season. I think the offensive line situation is just going to be worth looking at. A lot of the stuff, and I was putting some of this stuff together for a few weeks from now, but the wide receiver thing is wide open. Wide open. I don't know idea who's going to be your third receiver. If it's the tight end thing, Andrews obviously is going to start, but who's going to get the most time behind him? They drafted two guys. They signed a vet. I think that thing is wide open as well. Center, obviously, Corey Bullock is in the competition. Nick Dawkins, Danny Pinner. Interesting to see what happens there. So a lot of, believe it or not, this stuff on offense is out there. as well. Second string running back. Who gets the most time there? You got Derrick Henry there, Justice Hill still here, Rasheen Ali still here as well. Drafted Adam Randall, the owner's pick. So interesting to see there what's going on. All right. NBA playoffs. So let's talk about the series that wasn't. The Cavs and the Knicks. So definitely too. Wrote about this, the Ravori Sports blog. So check it out. Go into Google right now. Put in Ravori Sports blog. I did about 1,700 words talking about the Knicks and the Cavs, the last two games. So the Knicks, congratulations to all of you Knicks fans out there that are watching, like Average Joe podcast and out there, the New Yorkers that like the Knicks. And the Knicks are going to the NBA Finals, disposing of Cleveland 4 straight games as well. So congratulations to them actually getting to the NBA Finals. This was really one-sided as well. I'm going to say this. I'm going to stick up for the Cavs just a little bit. I don't think they actually played super poorly. And I know that's kind of weird to say considering they got beat 3-6, but the Knicks were just shooting out of their minds. Offensively, I mean, I don't think they were that bad. Is what I mean. But defensively, they just couldn't. I mean, but the Knicks just weren't missing shots. I mean, they were hitting 58% like in game 3. I mean, they were hitting 50+% in these games. And that's just you can't do anything with that as far as that goes. They couldn't hang with the Knicks. The Knicks, let's give them some credit. Let's get some of the names. Josh Hart, OG Anunoby. More and more I like him. More and more I like OG Anunoby. Like definitely too. Charles Oakley's watching him with some pride, because that's what I'm seeing with him. Charles Oakley that can. But Charles Oakley, believe it or not, was actually a better shooter than what people gave him credit for. But actually, I see a little 3-ball with him. But this guy's physical, always mixing up. Karl Anthony Towns, not looking like Kevin Duckworth, actually using his physicality as well. Jalen Brunson, obviously answering the bell. Mikal Bridges, a lot of criticism with how much they gave up. He's actually played well for them. So that's actually good. They're kind of using Brunson now as quite kept now at the 1 more almost more exclusively. So that's pretty good. But they have like several guys that are really shooting the ball well. Landry Shamet was really good. Miles McBride was really good in the series. Mitchell Robinson. I mean, these aren't guys. I mean, these are not guys that are, but this is kind of the way it's been for them the last 2 series as well. So I shout out to the Cleveland Cavaliers, but shout out to the Knicks. Knicks actually getting there for the first time, I think, since 1999. So the Knicks are going to be playing for the NBA championship as well. Talk Cleveland a little bit here. Cleveland, I think that just I'm going to give him some credit, or at least try to, with the Harden trade, with the James Harden trade. I'm kind of thinking, okay, you're trading for Harden, maybe it'll work out, but the idea is to bring LeBron in or bring Giannis in. I gotta kind of think that's what they were thinking, to go with Donovan Mitchell and then do that. So you can get out of the Harden contract, clear up some cap space, and go ahead and do it. I think it's LeBron they want to bring in. The stuff I'm hearing from LeBron is kind of crazy. Like, he says he doesn't want to take a pay cut. He wants another $50 million, blah, blah, blah. Bro, like, I don't understand that. I really don't at this point. Why one of the richest people in the entire country needs another. And again, I'm not rich, so I understand why people. It's easy for me to say, "Well, we don't need." Okay, but I don't know what's the. I'm thinking of a movie, Entrapment, great movie. The great Sean Connery years ago, Catherine Zeta-Jones they were robbing they were robbing banks and robbing houses and things like that. And he said they were going to do this job at Millennium Midnight, and it was for $8 million, $8 billion, literally $8 billion. They were robbing the bank at Millennium Midnight, and he's like, well, I want my cut to be 7 million. Yours should be 1 million. Yeah, we're gonna split it in half. What can't you buy with $7 billion that you can't buy with 4 billion, right? So maybe not a great story there, but like that's kind of why I feel like at this point, why would you be haggling about this? Honestly, I don't know. I think it's just pride or whatever, but as well. But to the point, I think that's what the Cavs were doing. I'm thinking that's what they were doing. They couldn't play. Harden's not the guy. Harden is just shown in the playoffs. He's just not as good of a player. He does a lot of bump basket. We've seen this for like 10 years now at Harden. Good score, good volume score, bump basket. And in the playoffs, he doesn't do as well because the refs don't call it as much. He can't get on the line as much, etc. We've seen it. So I don't know what they were thinking. I'm actually surprised I heard so many basketball people actually do that. I would have taken my chances with what they already had, Darius Garland, etc. Maybe got a few more points tonight, but as well, I do believe their thinking though is to get one of the free agents. If it's not LeBron, it's Giannis. That's what it is. So shout out to the Knicks actually getting there. This series has been phenomenal. The Spurs and the Thunder, I think these are the two best teams in the NBA. With all due respect to what the Knicks have done, even as well. But these two teams are just phenomenal. I don't think there's any question about it. The Thunder, even with some injuries, are still really, really handling business against San Antonio in this series. The Spurs have so many good offensive weapons any night. You talk about a guy I haven't even talked about, Julian Champagne, the starter forward all year long. I mean, 20 points, 22 points in his last game. Stephon Castle, the young guy, has been outstanding for them. De'Aaron Fox only had like 9 points. Like he's supposed to be their main guy along with Wembanyama, and he's missed a game. He only had 9 points. It could come from anywhere with them. So that's why I really do like what I've seen with the Spurs as well. Like you could get it from Harrison Barnes, although he hasn't done much as well. Dylan Harper, Kelton Johnson. They haven't quite played as well, but that's what you like as well. The Thunder are what the Thunder are. The Thunder are just a really good team as well. Solid on the defensive end. Those 2 7-footers, Hartstein and Holmgren as well. Dort actually is also an excellent defender. Actually got to start the last game. Jarrett McClain had a decent enough game. Had 20 points. Alexander Connolly, though, I would say in the playoffs, it really has been him on offense. They need him to have a good night every night. I think every night he had 32 points in the last game. A lot of it at the line, but I definitely too think they need him to do well in the playoffs. Jalen Williams, Carson Wallace, Caruso, Aaron Wiggins hasn't really played because of it. Like, so they've had some issues with injury, but it doesn't matter. I think they're more dependent on the ability of their main guy as far as on offense as well. So, but the Thunder is fantastic, and they are terrific defensively. Even a good defensive team like the Spurs as well, but they just come at you. I mean, you're not that stuff, that 58 stuff, that 58% stuff that the Knicks. They're gonna run out on those shooters, and they're gonna go ahead and do that in the series. So interesting to see. Garrett, congratulations, you national guys, getting the Knicks in the finals. Since all you care about is the Knicks as well. So definitely we're going to go ahead and check that out. Next week, final start next Wednesday on the 3rd as well. And we're coming on with the podcast right before that. All right. So let's go ahead And get this up. Yeah. We haven't seen it in a while. Let's go ahead and play it. Charge. It is time for baseball summer. So thank you all. So here we are, our baseball summer series, our 2026 baseball summer series. So for those of you that have never seen it before, let me go ahead and go over that. The baseball summer series. So we're about done with basketball. Football's a few months away. Terps today, real quick segue. Terps announced their first 3 games. We posted that 8 o'clock game, first game against Hampton. We're going to do that as well. Well, we may do an instant reaction in September for the Terps. We're definitely going to do that college football instant reaction. So back to business. Baseball summer, but football still months away. NFL still months away. NBA is about done. So what are we doing in the summertime? Baseball. I love what John Miller said a long time ago about baseball. You turn on the baseball game and it can keep you company all summer as well. So the focus a lot of times of this channel, and a lot of times we're going to talk about things during the summer. We're going to talk a lot of baseball, baseball summer series, or 26 baseball summer series. We're going to talk about not just the Orioles, obviously, but the minor league system, the Norfolk Tides, the Frederick Keys, the Iron Birds, whatever, the Bay Sox, minor league teams. Also, to MLB draft. We're going to talk about some of the best players in the MLB draft that are coming up. We talk about the MLB trade deadline during this thing as well. That's really the only minor league, but even independents like the Hagerstown. I keep wanting to say the Hagerstown son. Flying boxcars, the boxcars, the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, those teams, GSL Orioles, the Little League World Series, the College World Series. We talk. This is like a little bit more here as well. So for those of you out there that really want to hear about the other teams as well, we're going to go over all that during our baseball summer series. Our first one here tonight is the Norfolk Tides. Now that we're here after Memorial Day, the last one is going to be, I think it's Labor Day or the week after. It might be the week after this year, I think. But Labor Day, right around there, where we talk about the finals of the Little League World Series. All right. So what are we talking about tonight? And we're talking about the Norfolk Tides. I forgot they used to be called the Tidewater Tides. They had that on the other day. But the Norfolk Tides, beautiful Norfolk, Virginia. Definitely, too, if you've never vacationed there, me and my family went there before. It is gorgeous. In Norfolk as well. Go to the beach in Virginia Beach as well, Norfolk area. So you'll definitely enjoy yourself. Gorgeous hotel. We were at big high rise there as well, Norfolk Tides. All right. So the Tides. Tim Federer's definitely too, 19-33. So not a great start as well. Joe Gregory, again, general manager. So no changes there for managers. You see it a lot in minor league baseball where these guys are there for a long time. You see a lot of these minor league GMs, several years, many years, there for a long time, managing a long time, etc. So you see that. So that's interesting to see guys there for as long as they are. But Tim Federer, Joe Gregory, I think that's very cool. They've been there. Tides aren't very good. What is AAA baseball? AAA baseball is the obvious. The next step is the MLB, the major leagues, for the teams like that. AAA teams, you want to say with that the AAA team is the best players in the minor league system, which isn't always the case. What you see a lot of in AAA baseball is guys that are ready to play, especially this year. Minor league system is not what it was for the Orioles, not what it used to be. Some good minor league players, but a lot of their really, really good minor league players are good. When we talk about Frederick and those, we'll get to that you really your prospects there. But we're talking about guys that are really good in the minors. So you got, but there's a lot of guys that are veteran guys. They're ready to come up right away. That makes sense. So it's not necessarily the guys who are the best prospects always at the AAA level, but the guys that are ready to come up. So you see like a AAA team, guys are ready to come up. It's also a bonus to like last couple of years, if you have a Samuel Basallo, if you have a Dylan Beavers, if you have really, really good prospects on your team. I don't think they have that as much this year. We'll go over the top performers, but that's kind of what's going on this year as well. So let's go over it. Guy should be in the top performers, but he's not. Enrique Bradfield, he's been out, missed some games as well. 17th first overall pick. Yeah, man, he's just not hitting as much as we had hoped as well. Everybody says everything else is good with him. Like the defense is there. He's good defensively. He's got great speed. We're saying that, but he's hitting like 222. He played in the fall league. He didn't play that well. He's only even got 4 stolen bases. He's been out with injury. So here's a guy who kind of maybe we thought would be a top 100 prospect, but really hasn't been as well. So Enrique Bradfield is there. Levi Wells, I think at some point you may actually see him actually get an opportunity in the Orioles bullpen. 118 pick is a guy who's worked his way. Not a super high pick, 4th round, which is not bad for baseball. There's a lot of more rounds as well. So we'll see. And it's kind of like what we're talking about, a guy, Big Christmas, Noel as well. So he missed some games. A guy had some major league success as well. He's ready to play as possible. We see him at some point. Let's talk about my boy, Creed Williams. I'm getting sick and tired of y'all in the Creed Williams jokes. Every time I go on Twitter or go on Facebook or talk to somebody and I say something about Creed Williams, they give me the so. Creed Williams is a really good prospect in the Orioles system. I think he's probably now, with Maverick Hanley gone, this is the next guy that you'll see at the major league level as a catcher. Now, I don't think he plays much in the major this year, because of the fact, obviously, you got 2 really good catchers right now. You got the best catcher group in the league as well. So I think that's a problem as well. But how many home runs does this guy need to hit for somebody to say like that he's going to hit home runs in the majors? Look at it, 9 home runs, 25 RBIs as well already. Now, these numbers are a little dated. I haven't kept, like, this was Saturday, Sunday when I put these up here. So maybe a little bit more than that. But this guy's a legit power hitter, I think. So I definitely think he's got a major league future as well. Now, I don't know if he's a great catcher. I think that's fair when people say that. But say this guy can't hit. How many home runs do you need to see before you say Creed Williams can hit home runs? So keep that in mind. Jose Barrero, again, kind of like that same type of guy, kind of last year, like Verno Machine. Good guy, 28 years old, kind of like a 4A player, doing well in the minors, 10 home runs, 23 RBIs, hitting 275. Christian Strand, 9 home runs, 26 RBIs, hitting 268. Same, kind of like a 4A player. Hasn't done as well in the majors, but actually goes to the minors and still hits well, which is why he's still in the minors. Good player there as well. Andrew Logano, keep an eye on this. His numbers have been microscopic, as you see. 0-1 in the bullpen, 2 saves, 0.89 ERA. Definitely, too. Orioles bullpen could be in his future here as well. Is another guy, kind of like seen as a higher prospect at some point, Jed Fabian. Now he's about 25 years old, 8 home runs, 25 RBIs, 231 average. The hitting just hasn't been, again, like Bradfield, as good as they had hoped. Seen it at times. He was good at the lower levels, but he kind of leveled off as well. Not quite as, also too, even on like Bradfield, not quite as good defensively. He's got a little bit more power as well. So we put this. Trey Gibson was actually in Norfolk, but now you see him. He was the starting pitcher tonight as well. So 2-4, 282. He's earned it. He's earned his opportunity as well. I think definitely, too, with the way Chris Bassett has looked and Trevor Rogers has looked, and we're going to recap the month next week, but definitely, too, he's definitely earned it. Nestor German as well. Got to get that ERA down. Definitely the strikeout numbers are there. This guy throws ridiculously hard as well. So I think these are names you got to keep an eye on but particularly my boy Creed Williams at the top. I think it's definitely absolutely a name you want to keep an eye on. And also to Bradfield, I think is a guy, if he can get it turned around. And Fabian. There you go. So the Tides as well. So definitely keep that in mind. This year also too on Masson, they're showing more Tides games. So that's good. So I think there's like 13 Tides games as well. So it only took you 20 years, whoever long you've been in business, to actually show Tides games as well. So I'm just going to dress down the hat there because it's hot. All right. Because it's summer baseball, right? So let's go ahead. Orioles weekly report here. So let's go ahead and get that going. Weekly reports as well. So let's go ahead and check it out here. Not as many injuries up and down. So good. It's kind of the transaction wire kind of slow this week. Center spotted to outright Norfolk as well. Oh, let me get a shot there. So that's interesting as well. They've been kind of toying with him. I don't know how much he's even played as well. Reinstated Grant Wolfram the other day from the 15-day DL. Option the contract of Albert Suarez to Norfolk, and then designated Albert Suarez for assignment. So Wolfram came back the day of the doubleheader the other day and designated him as the 27th man. So the 27th man is when you have a doubleheader. You have a 26-man roster in Major League Baseball. They allow you to take 27 guys for a doubleheader day. So you're only allowed to do it for that one day. It doesn't count as an option as well. They allow you to have one more guy. So I thought for sure, too, what they were going to do. So they optioned him up and named him the 27th guy. So you do that. So a guy was, I kind of said it, a guy who was pitching that day would go down. So you're going to wait whoever it is, and they're going to go down. And again, it's Albert Suarez. I'm going to say one thing about Albert Suarez, and somebody made a great comment on social media this week about this. They keep sending this guy down. Every time you call him up, he bails out your bullpen. He bails out your bullpen every time as well. You keep sending him down. There are real life consequences to getting sent down financially too, and not that that's a thing as well, but rough start, 2-0-1, 275, 10 strikeouts. I'm just saying, and we can't find a place for you. Tyler O'Neill has a $16 million deal, and I don't even know why he's even starting tonight as well. But I deserves better. If you're saying he deserves better, I'm not going to argue that. That definitely could be correct. Nick Rackett, I think that's how you say it, was called up from AAA Norfolk, and they opted Diedrich Enns for assignment. Another odd one. You opted him for assignment because instead of just setting him down because you didn't have any more options, he's 30-something years old. So that's the case. But again, Enns had improved. Like Diedrich Enns this year for the Orioles, what was it? He was. What was his ERA? 3.94. Again, not a great start, but not bad. What?
Are you almost done?
Almost done. Yeah. So Diedrich Enns had been good for him, and again, you just sent this guy down. Again, kind of an odd move to go ahead and do that and send the guy down like that. Especially left-hander. Like, it's hard to find left-handers as well. Close around. Hussey continues to travel with the Orioles. He's on a 15-day injury list with Self-Fulfilling Nation. He hopes to pitch sometime next month. So that's next week. So we'll see. We'll probably see him in about 2 more. My guess is he continues to travel with the team as well. So I think we're not that far away. Outfielder designated hitter Heston Kjerstad is on a 60-day L with a strained right hamstring. Continues to rehab with Norfolk. He opened the series with Dorf. I don't know what his role is if he actually gets healthy enough to play. I don't know. He's definitely been better this year. I will say. I definitely think that is correct. With Heston, I think like he's had just some tough luck with injuries. I think his whole career, baseball injuries, and otherwise, let's see. Baseball injuries and otherwise as well. So what's he doing in Norfolk? It's like 235 in Norfolk this year. So, he's hanging in. I think Norfolk. I think he actually has a lot of talent. I don't think it's impossible that Heston Kjerstad can bounce back as well. Dylan Beavers has been on the 10-day with a strained oblique. He's been on since May 12th with the Orioles in Tampa Bay, which is Austin Ricky, which is obliques are often tricky. With that type of injury, you kind of don't know when a guy is necessarily going to be back. So I do understand why they're taking their time as well, even if you have to see total deal out there. So I absolutely understand why the Orioles are taking their time with that. The oblique is kind of like right here. So I understand why they're taking their time with that. Colton Cowser achieved a rare MLB feat by hitting walk-off homers in consecutive days, making Orioles history walk-off home runs in the 13th home runs in the 13th, which was Monday. He had one on Sunday as well. So a walk-off home run, 2 straight days. That was phenomenal stuff. Phenomenal Memorial Day game. That was Cowser hitting the home run, getting the 3-run home run, hitting the Weaver late in the game like that. So Orioles are really playing well lately. Definitely too. So they're on a roll. I'll get the final score tonight. The Orioles have really played well here as of late. So 11-2 tonight. 2 home runs tonight from Gunnar Henderson as well. Scoring 11 runs. They, despite their struggles, have been hitting home runs still. They're not hitting home runs. They're still getting the deep ball, and some of these guys are now hitting the stride. The offensive players, if you could just get Colton on track and those guys. Also, to Trey Gibson tonight, good start, 5 2/3 as well. Trey, that's better than Bassett and Rogers have been, so they got a decision to make here. Real quick, Shane Baz in his last start strikes out 9, 3-run home run by Basallo. The Orioles beat the Rays on Tuesday. Orioles on a heater. 3 games, 4 in a row, now 5, as a matter of fact, with the win tonight. I'm sorry, winning 4 in a row tonight as well. I definitely, too, they're outstanding lately. I think Basallo's definitely putting his name back in consideration for Rookie of the Year, so that was kind of the expectation for him. Baz, I think, struck out 9. That was the first time he looked good. That was the first time I was like, this guy really looked good. So him and Bradish, I think, it's June now. I think these pitchers are kind of rallying into form. For whatever reason, it seems to take pitchers a little bit longer to get there, especially nowadays as well. I even named him as one of the hot players of the week, along with Pete Alonso and Sam Basallo. Basallo's been good lately. Pete Alonso, I think, has been phenomenal as well. They're getting the numbers from him. The defense has just been not good. If there's anything with Alonso, that's a concern. Anthony Nunez has kind of struggled. Adley, not so great this week. Tyler O'Neill, I don't know why he started. I about had it with him. I mean, he's not giving you much at all, Tyler O'Neill. I mean, not even deep. I mean, the only thing I've seen him do well is throw from the outfield. That's about it. Everything else has been really just suspect as well. Also, too, Toronto Blue Jays coming this week. So AL champions, the pennant winner, the current holding pennant winners as well, are coming in. Also, to the Red Sox are coming in. You know the Red Sox, right, Alon? You know the Red Sox, right?
Yeah.
Red Sox. There you go. All right, and we're going to close with who's the player of the week. It had to be Colton Cowser. It had to be Colton Cowser with the 2 home runs in the 9th inning as well. Ain't the milk cold as well. That was the most watched video at Ravori Sports in Facebook when I linked that to the most watched video in the history of Ravori Sports, the home run for Cowser. That's not why I got picked, but it was outstanding stuff as well. So I want to thank you all for joining us here for the Ravori Sports Podcast. Like and subscribe. You want to say something?
Yeah.
Say one thing. Say something.
Okay, before he tells y'all to like and subscribe, I would like y'all to actually like and subscribe because he might give out plushies and some blankets.
Y'all heard it. Like and subscribe to all of our social media content for as well on Ravori Sports Podcast and Driving to the Top Productions. And I didn't put it up. I forgot to put it up. There. It's at the end. Driving to the Top Productions. Definitely check out all the videos on that channel as well. If you're watching this on that channel, definitely check out Georgia football, all the MLB content and all that other good stuff we're doing there. Have a great day. Thank you very much for watching the Ravori Sports Podcast. Enjoy the rest of your day.